Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. It's Friday. My name is Kim, and I hope you're ready for the weekend. I hope you had a manageable week. I hope you are taking care of yourselves. I hope you are not pulled into the craziness of social media and instead focusing on yourself, your emotional wellness, your physical wellness, psychological. Hope you are hydrating and getting enough sleep and rest. Okay. I'm doing a poll for a week ahead, and this week has been interesting, very interesting. This week, the energy has been interesting. We are. The eclipse was the 7th, I believe, so we're sort of running off the energy of the 7th. I did say this week is the calm before the storm. Some of you guys didn't like that, I guess, which is fine. I'll get to that in a second, why I said that. But I'm doing okay. Yesterday was Thursday, and Wednesday I was feeling very irritable, and I was wondering why. Then I realized I started drinking coffee. I haven't drank coffee in years, okay? And I was drinking coffee the past few weeks, but the coffee I was drinking was decaf, so it wasn't like causing me. Caffeine really, it overstimulates me, and I don't know how I got into this conversation, but anyway, it overstimulates me and it makes me very irritable, and so I have to stop. I can't drink it. I can't drink coffee, even though it gives me energy, but it really, at the end of the day, it really affects me emotionally, so I have to stop. Looking for alternatives to, I was only drinking black coffee. I wasn't putting anything in it, but that doesn't matter. My nervous system was like, no, you can't do this to yourself. Please stop. So I stopped. Today I did not have any coffee. I feel rather well. I've had an interesting, I've been exploring something that happened to me in a dream recently, and I explored that today. I actually was like, let me sit down and see what that's all about. I'll tell you about that in a little bit, guys, okay? But calm before the storm. And one of you lovely people said, well, things feel really volatile. I could see that. So, it's all perception, and it's all really how you experience the world. But I could see that. A card I pulled today, let me show you the deck. This is the deck I had pulled. Okay. This is not a promotion. Goddesses and gods and guardians. And I haven't used this deck often, but I'm trying to figure out this. I was trying to figure out this dream. And one of the first card I pulled was Emotep, which is the message I often get with this journey, the spiritual journey of mine. That what my purpose is. I always get the same message: to spread the word, to spread truth, to innovate, to, share your ideas and that sort of thing. I've been really, the past, I want to say, few weeks, I've been dealing a little bit with noticing my confidence and how the change, feeling more confident and more comfortable in my skin, you know. That's how I've been feeling. But I pulled another card, and it was Kali Ma. Wait, let me make sure she's not nude. It's Kali Ma. And this is the reason why I was really pulling and trying to figure out what the heck was that dream about, was because of what happened in the dream. Is something I have never experienced in my life, and I don't want to sound crazy when I tell you this dream that I had. It was, I had woken up and I fell back asleep. I had woken up to use the bathroom or something, but that's not, just trying to set the scene. So I fall back asleep, and I have been having this recurring dream about being at a supermarket or, store. And so I'm with my family in this dream. And the dream is always different. I'm looking for something, I can't find it, whatever. So this particular dream that I had this past week, I believe it was Monday or Sunday. I was at this market, and in the distance, I could hear this really rude woman. She was at the registers, at the checkout, and she was an employee. This is a dream, guys, okay? She was an employee she was like manning the lines. She's so rude. And I'm far away. I'm looking at her, and I'm like, before I even looked, I could hear her yelling at people and being rude. And I'm like, and so I turned my attention to her, and I was like, in my head, I'm like looking at this woman, and there was a child on the side, and he was holding something. He was asking for help in this dream. I could only see a silhouette though. And I was looking at this child holding out this thing to her, and she said something, she was just yelling at him. And mind you, I'm far away now. I'm like off in the distance, but I could see him. And I knew, I was like, this child is special needs. I was like, emotionally, this child is fragile. I just felt it. So I go, and something I would do in real life, went to the lady, and I said, do not talk to him that way. And she sort of looked at me, but not really. And I said, you don't understand that he emotionally is vulnerable. I said, don't talk to him that way. And so she looks at me. She's sitting down now. She's sitting down in front of this shelf. And so she looks at me, and I'm looking at her, and she says something, but I don't know what. She looks at me with this sort of dismissive, and she says something, but it's not in English. But what I heard two words. And she says this thing she's saying. It was like my ears were blocked, but it didn't also, as I was thinking more and more about the dream, she wasn't saying words in English, but she said two words that I heard. And she said, I heard the word pretender and God. And I was like, I stood there, and I was so taken aback. The feeling when I heard those two words, I was so taken aback, and I felt myself step back as I'm looking at her, and I felt a little bit helpless. It was a strange feeling. I felt like a child. I felt, as I'm thinking about this more, the feelings that I felt that before as a child, that feeling. And I stepped back because of those feelings that came over me. I don't want to sound crazy. I don't. This is just what I. And so I stepped back and I'm looking at this woman, and her face changes to this evil, just like, I don't even want to use the phrase demonic, just pure evilness on her face with a smile. And she's leaning forward after this feeling comes over me, and I'm like backing up away from her. And she's leaning forward and she says, "Did you look up the curse yet?" And I was like, so I'm like now I'm like, I noticed I wasn't afraid necessarily, but uncomfortable. And I felt like when I heard those two words, pretender, and I was like, what does she mean by that? That's what I was thinking of. Those words she said to me that made those feelings, those old feelings, coughing, old feelings come back. And her face changes as I'm looking at her. And I find myself stepping back a little, and she says it again. She asked me again. And I said, no. Did you look up the curse? I said, no. And suddenly, this is crazy. I have to drink water because I'm about to choke. Excuse me. So, suddenly, it's like something in the back of my throat. Suddenly, I'm looking at her. She said it the second time. I'm like, I know this. I've seen this face before. All these thoughts are running through my head. And I'm like, I've seen this person before. The same woman. Same hair cut. Same face. I've seen a glimpse of her in my dreams as I was falling asleep, like months and months ago. And so I'm like, I stood there, I stopped backing up, and I stood there and I was looking at her. And as I'm looking at her, I'm like getting a feeling of anger, I guess you could say. But it felt like righteous anger. So I'm looking at her. And all of a sudden I this is the crazy part. All of a sudden I start shifting shape. It's changing. And I'm not myself. And I roared at her. Like a lion. Like a monster. Like a lion. Like a monster. I roared. It was like crazy. And so I roared at her, and she didn't like fly back, but she was pushed back by like the roar. I can't even describe it. It was things falling off the shelf behind her. Her hair got, disheveled. She was all disheveled. And I did it again a second time. I moved forward again, and I did it again. And I started speaking in the dream, and my voice was not my voice. It sounded like disembodied, like it sounded like not myself. And I pointed at her and I said, leave this child alone. If you keep messing with this child, you'll regret it. Something to that effect. And the woman just looked at me like just disheveled. I mean, she was a mess. Just from me roaring. Or not me. I don't know. And I woke up immediately after that. And my eyes opened and I was like, what the heck was that? I've never had that kind of dream before ever when I was not myself. I was like, I was disturbed is what I felt, quite honestly. It was uneasy, I felt. And I was like, I put my hand to my chest And I was looking around my bedroom and I was like, what was that? I was like, that was so strange. I was like, that wasn't a dream. And so that was so strange. I don't want to sound crazy. I kept it to myself. I didn't say anything. I've been like thinking about it. Thinking, but not really, not asking my spirit guides, like, what was that? Not at all. And so I finally said to my sister Wednesday, and I was like, or was it Tuesday? One of those days. The week is blurring. I told her about the dream, and I was like, this is a weird dream I had. And I was like, I couldn't describe it, but my sister is the one who saw the wings on my back and, my whole near-death experience, spiritual awakening. She was a part of all of that. But so today I said, okay, I'm gonna sit down, and my day is free. I need to really explore what this was. And so I do believe what I'm about to say, but I saw this woman before, and as I was months ago, when I first started getting back into, when all of this happened and I started talking about this and getting back through the spiritual journey, I was falling asleep one night, and this woman that I saw in this dream was in my dream, and she was saying something to me. She was clapping her hands, and it was something spinning. Looked like a mirror. It was going back and forth like this, a mirror. And she said, look in the mirror. And I opened my eye. I was like, hell no. Excuse my language. I was like, hell no. And I opened my eyes up because it didn't feel safe. And anyway, I've seen that woman before. And so I don't know what she was. I don't know what she was in this dream. It was very scary. She didn't scare me necessarily. It was my response. And so anyway, getting back to today, I connected with my spirit guides. I'm like pulling cards. I'm like trying to figure out what was that? I remember I pulled a few days ago my tarot, and I was like, this isn't helping me. I'm like, why don't I just talk to my spirit guides today? I mean, I do, they're there. And I was like, but I think part of me was too afraid to do this. And so I, before I could really channeled them and spoke to them, I was like thinking about what this woman said and the words. And I just Googled, why would a demon call you a pretender? And it came up, and because that's the only thing I could think of, because I've heard that before. I've seen that, to knock you off your game, to undermine the work you do, to your belief in your faith, to undermine those things, to sow seeds of doubt within you and the work that you do. That's why they say those things. Call you a pretender. I don't want to sound crazy, okay? But that's just how I feel. That's what it was. I just know it was. And so I was like, okay. Before I did that, before I asked that question, I pulled cards. I pulled this deck, and I felt drawn to this card. I kept seeing it, and I what I've been trying to figure out this week was, what was that roared? What did I change into in this dream that I know was not a dream? I said, what was that? And after I pulled this card and I was reading the message in the card, and the last message is, Kali she fights demons and she eliminates them. She's terrifying. Has righteous anger. She believes in justice and fighting injustice and things like that. And made me think even further. I was like, what was this roar? Like, what was this? And so anyway, I connected with my spirit guides, and they said to me that you were under attack spiritually. And they said we are here to protect you. And so what that was them roaring like that. Mind you, I have 3 archangels as my spirit guides. The first 3 that I was introduced to, and that was them. And when the feeling I felt when I heard the word pretender, I was backing up, and I felt like, what the? Because it's, when you do this work, at least for me, I'm still learning so much about myself. I'm talking a lot, and you could fast forward through this. I apologize if you're not interested, but I think I have some points. But I'm learning. I'm learning a lot about myself, and there's so many new things that keep coming up, and I really try to hold the balance between, I don't know. They said to me a few things. They said, you are under spiritual attack. We protected you. We wanted to protect you. We're here for you always. That was the power, I think, made me uneasy. What I felt in the dream when they just roared at that woman, that thing. And I was like, whoa, this is a lot for me. And they also said that this is a lot of light workers are experiencing spiritual attacks because we're getting closer to something. We're sharing the truth. We are uplifting as opposed to our words and our messages that we have been sharing is uplifting as opposed to bringing people down, as opposed to what this I guess dark energy, this negative energy does to us, or how it can affect us. So this is happening. I'm not the only one that this is happening to. And I said, okay, well, what do I need to do? And it's funny because I was like, I need to get back to, I have lost my routine because life has been lifing. And so I still pray, but not as deeply as I was months ago. My spirit guides are always there, but I feel like I need to do more. I've been saying that honestly, since the past 2 weeks, I've been like, I need to get back on a routine and do some more rituals and cleanse. And I've been feeling that because I low key have been saying, like, I don't want to sound crazy. But I'm like, or paranoid, because I'm not those things. I was like, I feel sometimes when I'm falling asleep, not that I don't feel safe or unprotected. I absolutely do feel safe and protected. But I'm like, something weird and something strange is going on. And I'm like, I need to put some salt under my bed, to purify. I've been purifying my room. Those are sort of feelings. I just feel the closer I get to, the more I speak and the more clarity I have that not that I'm leaving myself open. I know I'm protected. I'm not afraid of that, but things will try to attack and make you tired and, make you say things not to take, we are responsible for ourselves too. But I noticed after that dream, maybe a little bit before then, when I started to become aware of like something's off, but particularly after this dream, I've been sleeping so well and falling asleep. The past, honestly, 2 weeks not that I've been having trouble sleeping, but going to bed so late. I always go to bed tomorrow. It's always going to be past 12. That's when, I get most energetic until I'm tired, But anyway, sleeping much better. Falling asleep easier after this dream. So, anyway, when I pulled this card and I read the message, the final line was, from chaos comes divine order. And I said, absolutely. I said yes. And so I know what has been going on all week, or rather midweek, has caused a lot of... It's twofold, right? Because I look at the energy. There's a lot of people who are just sort of indifferently watching this. And I said that when I pulled last week. I said people will be looking at something and sort of not... The response will be just sort of introspection and thinking. Judgment came out. I remember all of that. And, quite honestly, I don't feel volatile energetically. And I'm tuned in. I am tuned. And I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say that if I didn't feel that, if I didn't sense that. I know things have been, just from the actions of midweek, but the energy still doesn't feel... Now, moving forward, things are going to get intense. I can say that. I did, if you haven't watched my September, if you haven't watched my September reading, please do, because I talk a lot about how September is a significant month. And we're on the launch pad. Things are moving very quickly. And we will be there. But right now, this week, and I've been through social media. I can tell you that. I look at everything right now. The past day, I just removed Threads from my phone because it's I hate social media. But anyway, things will get more intense energetically. There's a lot of noise, but what's most important is what my guides told me is that we are getting close to something. I could just feel it. And those of us who are doing this work, those of us who are sensitive, have to be prepared. Okay? All right, so listen, that was a lot. Anyway, I'm wondering if I should just upload this video and then do a reading, or should I leave it as one? Questions. 30 minutes is a lot. What should I do? Then do a part 2? I'll just keep it to an hour. So the week ahead. Let's see. What do we see for this week ahead? Let me ask Edgar. I would ask just for some keywords, if you please. I hear damnation. He's saying damnation. Condemn. Spark. Rigid. Justice. Homegrown is what he said. Necessary evil. Rebel rousers. That's what he's saying. All right. Overall energy for the week of September 14th to the 20th. To the 20th. Overarching energy, please show me. I should have used the other cards because these have naked people on them. I still didn't cover them. It's alright. For the U.S. Collective. The world. 8 of Cups in the world. That's what I saw first. Okay. Seven of Swords. Par for the course with there, huh? Mm-hmm. As y'all will know, I have not mentioned that person because I will not talk about that. That is none of my business. That ain't my business. Seven of Wands. Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands. Temperance. Lovely. Four Swords. Interesting. Ten of Pentacles. It's telling me to put it here. The High Priestess. Alright, here. The Knight of Swords. Nine of Wands. Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords. It goes here. Eight of Wands goes here. Lots of news coming in. The Star. This person is a nude. Goes there. Okay. And give me the ultimate. Give me the ultimate energy. Six of Swords. Interesting. And Strength on the bottom. Hangman. Nine of Wands. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. The Tower is there. The energy is there. The Tower. I could see that. I could feel it. Okay, so what we have here is, remember the keywords that I said, okay? Next week is going to be a lot. Feels like people saying a lot of things, people looking at us, news coming out. There's multiple things happening. It feels very like being on fast forward for next week. Right here. Eight of Cups, Eight of Wands, the World, and the High Priestess. Honestly, it feels rapid progression spiritually. Okay. And this may be something, let me get it feels like maybe in our subconscious, perhaps. Like if it's something coming together in a spiritual sense, doesn't feel like secrets coming out, or feels like something we know already. Okay. The High Priestess is the spiritual aspect of this energy here, down here. And then you have the World. The World is about new cycles, Then you have the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups is about transitioning and, moving on, moving into something new, or moving away from something into something new with confidence. What do I need? Queen of Pentacles. Ace of Swords on the bottom. The Tower wants to come out. It does. Tower wants to come out. Okay. This is the Tower, guys. Okay. So, Queen of Pentacles. Cups, Wands, Pentacles. Only thing is not here is Swords. That's down there. It feels very much like I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It really just feels the stability. This here feels like coming into the week from this week. Some of us, you know, that calm I felt in this week, I still stand by it despite what happens, you know. Because the energy of the response, and I'm talking about school shootings as well. That's, well, anyway. I saw those things, you know. If you didn't watch my video from yesterday, please do, Q&A video. Anyway, but this, you know, energetically, on the physical part of this, it would appear that things are volatile. But I just don't feel that energetically. I feel on another level that a lot of us, a lot of the collective is looking at things in a way that is a knowing, in a way that is that card, the message, from chaos comes divine order. And this is what this feels like. We're walking each thing, event, or what have you, what we've been experiencing. What have I always said? Some of you lovelies don't watch my videos fully or don't pay attention. And that's fine. You pick what you want to hear. I'm okay with that. But I say some key things, and I notice you may not know that I've said something because you might ask me about it, but you have to listen to everything. And I'm trying to work on not being so long-winded. I know I am, but I have a lot to say sometimes. And if I'm not, it gets misinterpreted. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But what I'm saying here is like, I'm tapping into a different sort of energy. And we have to be in that energy in order to continue to awaken and rise up like we are doing. We're doing it whether people are resisting it or not. This is what this is about. The High Priestess and the world. Queen of Pentacles offers stability and security, practicality. The Eight of Cups offers healing. It offers, it does offer a calm response. It does offer a solution to walk away, walk into something that is healing and walk into something that is better. And you don't necessarily know where that is. Like, you know, you're not sure rather what that is, but you're doing it. But the world is here. And the High Priestess is guiding you, you know, following, trusting your intuition. We're all getting messages that we have to listen to. Even me. All of us. Eight of Wands is just precision, progression, expansion, rapid movement, things happening very fast now, spiritually. Coming full circle with the world, new cycles, old cycles going away and new cycles happening. Okay? As we move through the week, we have 7 of Swords, 7 of Wands, Knight of Swords, and 9 of Swords. And so there's a lot of mental work midweek. There's always mental work, but this in particular, with the 9 of Swords, this worry, anxiety about something, and the 7 of Swords is what it always is, always comes out. 7 of Swords though is about what I think this is saying, quite honestly, is like the worry. We look at things and we feel anxious and worried. Our worst nightmare is coming true, but the 7 of Swords there is saying this is really flimsy, whatever you're worried about. 9 of Swords always says like, oh, you'll be okay. It's fine. You're protected. And the Knight of Swords is saying, I'm carrying this. The Knight of Swords are, shrewd, strategic movement. Seeking out the truth with a clear mind and a clear vision. And so the 9 of Swords is on top here, and it's like the worry and the anxiety and the scandal and the noise. And the 7 of Swords here, it's about corruption and thievery, but it's also about walking out of toxicity. It's about foundations being weak. The 7 of Wands is getting your voice. And that's what the Knight of Wands is carrying in. Fighting for, protecting for the collective. Okay? The 7 of Wands is about your voice. Standing your ground. Reclaiming your voice, asserting your power, inserting your boundaries. That's what we need. We have the star here at the end. I knew the star was there when I was shuffling. Temperance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major cards here for next week. Okay, Temperance, 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, the star. I liken the star to the High Priestess sometimes. Their energy is just on the same vein. For me, at least, that's how I interpret it. The star is about faith. It's about belief. It's about hope. It's about, trusting your inner guidance. It's about really also the things that you want to see, believing that it will happen, that it's going to happen. Okay? Temperance is about balance. It's about healing. It's a very healing card. Wisdom. And you have the 10 of Pentacles there. Well, being very much, I don't know why it feels cleansing here for next week. Maybe that's why it's significant. Listen, we have the Tower here. Yes, there'll be things. We'll see when I pull for events, okay? But from chaos comes divine order. Remember the words, the key words Edgar said, okay? The end of the week is be some introspection. There'll be some thoughts about our future, our legacies, there'll be some harmony also. Some of us may feel tired. Some of us may feel an increase in wisdom. The Temperance is also about you're just not doing too much. Cooler heads with Temperance. It's a good card to have. I asked the overall energy is the 6 of Swords. What did I say? I forgot that I even pulled this card. You know, this thing that's happening with us spiritually, it's happening whether you like it or not. Not that we would dislike it, but whether you know, it may happen slower for some, but Six of Swords is healing too. It's transition. It's stepping up in a level. It's change. And then you have the Tower here. Change again. From chaos comes divine order. Cleanse, you know. Let's see events. Can you show me events that will affect the collective next week? Can you show me? Please show me. Can't wait to eat dinner. I'm hungry. The world's on the bottom. The sun is there in the middle. The Empress again. 4 of Wands. 2 of Wands. Seven of Pentacles. 7 of Cups. The Hierophant. Okay. Ace of Wands. I was supposed to do something. Not pull this card. What was I supposed to do? Pull a clarifier. For what? Oh, okay. 7 of Swords. I knew that was there too. Somebody's lying in the government, but what else is new, you know? What else is new? It's telling me to split the deck. Split. The Page of Cups always is there too. Queen of Pentacles. Let me just make sure these are the same cards. The High Priestess. 3 of Pentacles. It's telling me to shuffle some more. If those cards come up again, those are the cards. I'm not sure. I'm looking for something, but I'm not sure what. I feel like they're telling me you know, look for something. But what am I looking for? What am I looking for? Something with the government next week. I mean, you know, par for the course, guys, you know? Or maybe spirituality itself. But the 7 of Swords is on the bottom. Knight of Wands. Where does this go? There's not way to put it here. I'm gonna ask and see what that is. This here. The Hierophant. Okay. I'm looking for something. Give me the ultimate. What is the ultimate energy? What is the ultimate event? Maybe? Six of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. The Lovers. I do hear choice, you know. Six of Cups and Five of Cups. Ten of Cups. Lots of cups. Something that will make us emotional, perhaps. The Moon. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what the heck's that. What's going on there? Four of Pentacles. My left ear is ringing. It might be something not good. With my left ear ringing. Okay. This is, let's see here. Let me move down. Let's see the visual. Does the Hierophant represent the U.S. government in this reading? Nope, I didn't feel that either. Did not feel that either. Clear the center. Did the Hierophant represent a spiritual... Hold on, what am I asking? I feel like a spiritual practice for some reason. I don't know. There's some confusion here. You know, something, I feel like an event we'll see that may... Let me see. Does the Hierophant in this reading represent a spiritual practice? Okay. Like rituals. Rituals, I keep hearing. Okay. But why is the Seven of Cups there? There's a lot of confusion here, you know? You have the Seven of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. This energy is about implementation with the Two of Pentacles, a plan, how you do something. And the Seven of Pentacles is about nourishing something. The Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is about, it feels like here, it feels like, they are the ones who helps this process move forward. The process of helping something grow and expand, and some sort of plan here. If honestly, but it feels like here you have the Four of Pentacles, the Empress, the Four of Wands. Is that the Four of Wands? Yes, and the Moon. What a strange combination of cards. With the Moon and the Empress, you have this feminine energy. You know? But it also feels like there's something there's a surety here with this. a surety and also like an unsureness. Surety for some sort of like, you know, because the Four of Pentacles, we're not letting go. Some of us are not letting go of this Empress energy and the Four of Wands energy. Whatever event, it'll be a mixed response, whatever the events are. Some people will have a choice to make with the Lovers, two choices, you know. It definitely involves expansion. I don't see blockage, but it's something, yeah, something that will cause confusion for some, more clarity for others. I don't know, it feels like, you know, let me see, hold on, because it honestly, something is changing. For some people, will question their, not their beliefs, but some structure that has to do with, you know, churches, or not like this type of spirituality. It's like churches and organized religion, but something will be, show me what that is, because I can't see it. What is that? Can you show me, please? And then I'll let you guys go. Show me. You know, the Tower didn't come up in events either, and it's what I'm understanding is like things are deconstructing. What is that? This is a Chariot? Nope. Two of Swords. I asked them to show me what I can't see, what that is. What does that have to... Ace of Wands. Death. Look, I said that. Things are changing. Six of Wands. Knight of Wands. King of Swords. Ten of Wands. And the Devil. The Sun. That's what I'm... Hey guys, that's what I'm saying. This goes, first of all, this Ten of Swords, Ten of Pentacles goes here. This King of Swords goes here. The Devil goes on the bottom of this. Let me cover these naked people up. Okay. And the Sun goes here. Three major cards. Something will be very, whatever event will be very illuminating for the collective. The Sun came out twice in a week, 2 times in a row. You have death, transition, change, you know, letting go of things that no longer serve. Just like the world in the beginning. Full circle. And guys just said there's an opportunity for healing as well. Ace of Wands, King of Swords, Two of Swords here. The thing I can't see is Devil. The devil is the thing. It's trapped, you know, trapping some of us, perhaps. Two of Swords, can't see, denial, you know. But the King of Swords is on top, fighting for the truth, you know. Bringing in this clarity, you know, clear communication, the Ace of Wands. But the devil's on top of it. That's the problem. Ace of Wands is about new opportunities for inspired action, progression, determination, a new sort of, that's covering it, the devil. And you move here. Six of Wands is, you know, support, victory, people looking at you, cheering you on. So it honestly feels like this is the bridge, death. And this getting to the King of Swords energy, even getting to the death energy. It honestly feels like we start here and we end here. Breaking chains here. Let me get a clarifier. What is the action here for the devil? Can you show me? Show me. Ten of Wands on the bottom. And burdens. And strength, yeah. Strength is a clarifier for the devil. You can overcome it. We can overcome any obstacle, whatever event. It's, you know. Okay? We don't have to push. We don't have to just take the blindfold off. Release any fears. So we could get to the other side of this. We will. The Sun, Ten of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Six of Wands, Death. Okay? That's good stuff. I mean, it's all about perspective, right? Okay. I'm going to pull one card. I'm going to use this deck. Donald Trump's health. Okay. Three of Wands came out in reverse. Three of Wands in reverse. I'm going to just do this quick. Give me one more regarding his health. I saw a video of his side of his face drooping, which was concerning, obviously. Two of Wands. Four of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. Wait, that's the page. This is the Page of Pentacles. I thought it was the Four. Okay. Cards are upside down. So we have the Three of Wands in reverse came out. came out in reverse. And maybe one more. Should have used this deck anyway. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Alright, give me the ultimate update. What is going on? Where is he health-wise? Ultimately. 3 and 2 of Wands. Interesting. 2 of Wands upright, 3 of Wands in reverse. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. When it's facing you, it's upright. When it's facing me, it's in reverse. The Hangman. That's what delays. You know? 3 of Swords. Ace of Wands. Page of Pentacles again in this deck. And this time in reverse. Ace of Wands in reverse. 3 of Swords in reverse. Interesting. The Hangman is the most prominent card here. He's, you know, they have a plan. 2 of Wands treatment, but there's some stagnancy here. You know, the results are not what they expect or hope for, maybe. Let's see. That's what I feel. That's what I sense. Health reading. Yeah, I was right. You know, 3 of Wands is about results, waiting for things to come in. It says, suggest delays, frustration, and obstacles in health journey, indicating that current efforts may not be yielding the expected results. You're facing, you know, unforeseen challenges that are hindering progress, and the Hangman is here, which is all about delays. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. A delay, and you know, whatever they're sprucing them up with is not doing what they hope for. These are in reverse, first of all. 3 of Swords in reverse. Ace of Wands in reverse. Delay. Page of Pentacles in reverse and a health reading. There's some lack of focus, perhaps. I feel. Yeah. Need to adjust lifestyle changes.